You're watching the KOA Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, a local shelter may be forced to close its doors if financial help doesn't come soon. Lonnie Walton shares their cry for help.
Also, tensions are beginning to ease between the hit show Tulsa King and the Quapaw Nation after the show's depiction didn't sit well with the tribe.
And we've got ourselves a chilly but seasonable start to the day out there. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOA Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is just after 7 a.m., almost 7:01 on this Thursday, November the 14th. And remember, 30 days hath it starts in September. I said earlier it was November. 30 days hath September. No.
What?
30.
Maybe you just stopped.
There's 30 days in this month, so we're almost halfway through the month.
Yes.
There we are.
There you go.
So that's what we're
Long way
looking at,
around,
getting
yeah.
closer to Thanksgiving, just a couple of weeks away.
Yes, absolutely. Well, a local shelter that has long been a lifeline for those in need is now calling on the community for help. Safe Haven Outreach Mission in Parsons, Kansas, known for providing support to homeless individuals, is facing an unprecedented financial crisis.
Now, leaders say if they don't get financial help soon, they may have to close the doors for good. KOAM's Lonnie Walton has the story.
And I saw a picture of a homeless man on the front page of the newspaper, and it said, "Give me shelter." And I knew that that was God telling me, it's time.
Melissa Brown is the director of Safe Haven Outreach. Although the shelter has its financial struggles, Brown focuses on the lives she's touched to give her hope.
Another lady living in the laundromat. She was sleeping in the laundromat. Fast forward 2 or 3 years after being here, she walks through my door, and I get to serve her.
Although Brown has spent a big portion of her life helping others, she is now fighting her own battles.
I have liver disease.
While battling this disease, Brown says her faith brought her someone to help ease the pain. Meet Veronica Ware, a recent drug addict and homeless person. She says Brown helped her regain her faith.
Living room 10 years ago probably now is whenever I really got to know, and it's stuck with me.
Ware says there's a good reason why she ended up here.
Probably part of my journey to come here and to help her and to get a better life than I was living.
This is why Brown says she wants to keep supporting the community with what she believes is her calling. However, she needs the community to help her keep her mission alive.
We are low on some toiletry items and also some food items, but our main thing right now is money to keep the doors open.
Brown says although the struggle is hard, she has hope in her faith that the shelter will live on. Reporting in Parsons, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Brown says the shelter is currently living month to month, and it'll take about 10 grand just to keep the doors open through the end of the year.
That's certainly incredible. You know, you don't realize the cost of helping those in need, but with inflation, it affects us.
Yes.
It's affecting these shelters that are providing fantastic resources to folks. So anybody, if you've got a dime to spare, you know,
extra can of food, anything
at all. These organizations certainly need your help. And I know, we know it's tight. Yeah. Not everybody has something they can give, but if you do, make sure you're helping out your local food pantries and these organizations because they sincerely need it as we head into the holidays. And we are a little bit on the chilly side this morning. I'm not talking about eating any chili. I'm talking about it's cold outside, but it's where it should be. Let's take a quick look outside with our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. Here comes the sun. Unfortunately, I do not see the Beatles, nor am I aware of any Abbey Roads in the city of Pittsburgh, but if that happens, we will certainly let you know. But it is looking great out there as we get this day started. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. Got a few folks waiting in line, and they've got some friends coming up here to join them on this beautiful November day. Future track into the afternoon. We're looking to be upper 50s for most of us by about the noon hour. And otherwise, clear skies, calm winds. Today is going to be a very tranquil November day. Temperatures right about where they should be. The winds are calm. The skies are clear. It's going to feel a little surreal out there. It's going to be nice, but that's what we're looking at as we head through the afternoon and into the evening. We are okay, all right, that happens sometimes. Like we're experiencing a gray blizzard of some sort in Joplin. We're sitting at 40 in Joplin, 39 in Pittsburgh. Remember, average lows upper 30s, so we're pretty close. Some of us already there. Yates Center, Iola, Pittsburgh, Lamar, Carthage. But most of us, as you can see, upper 30s, Still some low 40s sneaking in here and there. As we head into the afternoon, again, upper 50s, low 60s for our highs. That's about where we should be. So near average temperatures, sunny skies, calm winds, just an absolutely gorgeous day. Now, for some reason, you're unable to get out and enjoy this gorgeous day today. Do not worry. We still have a couple more out there for you. We're going to talk about that, some rain chances, and that Arctic air mass in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, an elderly Kansas man has died in a vehicle crash in Joplin that happened back on November 5th. The incident occurred around 9 a.m. near the intersection of 43rd Street and South Rangeline Road. According to the police report, 82-year-old Leonard Venata of Columbus, Kansas, stopped his car at a stop sign. He then pulled forward and was struck by a southbound van. Venata was transported to a Springfield hospital where he died Sunday. Well, Baxter Springs announces its interim police chief. Jimmy Hamilton was sworn in this week during the city council meeting. The move follows Brian Henderson stepping down as the Baxter Springs chief of police to focus on his new role as Cherokee County Sheriff-elect. Hamilton says Henderson will stay on with the department through the end of December. The Quapaw Nation has reached a resolution relating to the television show Tulsa King and its depiction of the tribe. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more.
Saw the episode, we were shocked.
Shocked. That's how Weena Supernaw of Quapaw Nation felt when she saw the way the tribe was portrayed in an episode of the television show Tulsa King.
Dismayed when the episode aired and reflected us in such a disparaging light. We took offense not only as a small tribal nation, but also all tribal nations.
Season 2, Episode 4 of Tulsa King aired last month and introduced characters from the Quapaw Nation who were depicted as being involved in a criminal conspiracy relating to marijuana and wind energy. Quapaw Nation says they were not given a chance to approve or reject the use of the tribe's name.
We all looked at each other and said, did you give him permission to use the Quapaw Nation's name? Did you? And of course, none of us had.
Quapaw Nation put out a statement addressing the issue, and they were contacted by Taylor Sheridan, who's listed as an executive producer of the show, and his team. Production from the Tulsa King apologized, and they had a productive conversation with the Quapaw Nation, resolving the issue.
They have come to us with great sincerity, and we've accepted that apology.
Going forward, she hopes this encourages open dialogue about allowing Native American voices to tell their own story.
The need for ongoing dialogue and sensitivity to Native American issues and the way in which we are portrayed in Hollywood or film and media at large. You know, we're not relics in a museum from the 1800s.
Reporting in Quapaw, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Following this incident, Quapaw Nation encourages writers and producers to learn more about the Quapaw Nation and its history. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, Dustin Luno from the Joplin Fire Department is with us this morning to share the dangers of chimney flue fires. And later, our very own Samantha Walker investigates the shockingly high numbers of fatal accidents along I-44 in 2024. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Old Reddings Mill Bridge for Historic Bridge Awareness Month. Fireplaces across the 4 states are beginning to light up as cooler temps move in. We have Dustin Luno from the Joplin Fire Department with us this morning. He has a few tips to help keep you safe the next time you use your fireplace. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, great. Thanks so much. So talk to me about, chimney flue fires and fireplace safety and kind of what that all entails.
Yeah, so it's getting cooler this morning. It was, we're pretty cool now. I actually had to turn the heat on at the house last night. So 'tis the season, right? So we're going to be firing up our fireplaces. We're going to start, warming and heating our houses a little bit more. And so it's really important that, you have your fireplace checked by a professional. To ensure, one, that the box itself, the fireplace itself, is in good working order. It doesn't have any cracked panels or anything like that. The panels itself actually have to insulate and keep the heat off of the structure of the house.
Right.
So cracks in those panels can lead to that heat being emitted into the structure, which over time dries out the wood and catches it on fire.
Yes.
With some of the older houses that have stone or brick fireplaces, they can settle and crack over time. Which will, again, that, as the heat goes up through the flue, allows those hot gases to go and penetrate into the structure, and can lead, what typically happens is it leads to an attic fire.
Wow.
So a really quick inspection, a routine inspection, can help prevent that, as well as they will look for, any type of debris. Maybe it's your, local sparlins or whatever it is that come through there and make a bird's nest. So that has to be cleaned out, because, you go and you light off your fireplace, and now you have that blockage in the flue. It catches on fire, and it progresses very, very rapidly. So we want people to stay warm and stay safe.
Absolutely. And as the holiday season, comes closer, decorations and things like that around the fireplace too, what do you say to that? And what kind of advice do you give for folks at home wanting to light their fireplace while also decorating it as well?
That's an excellent question. So a lot of people will hang stuff for the mantle or something like that. Be sure that you're not in a position where that hot air is continually being blasted onto those decorations. What can happen is over time those decorations will slowly heat and slowly dry out, and then eventually they could catch on fire. Be sure you keep your Christmas tree a very good distance from your stove or your fireplace, and make sure it's watered very well, because that absolutely can be an issue. So be very safe, be very cautious of anything flammable you put in a radius around that fireplace.
Certainly important reminders there. Thank you so much
You're
for
very
being
welcome.
with us this morning. Happy to have you here. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 7:16 now on this Thursday morning, and it is a beautiful day. And today, nearly a textbook fall day. How do we know this? Well, we have all this fancy technology that tells us things, and this is what it's going to show us. By noon today, take a look. Upper 50s, maybe some low 60s out there. Average highs, upper 50s. We're not going to be that far from that today. So absolutely gorgeous Thursday. And the other part, the winds are calm and the skies are clear. We got a beautiful day. Calm winds, clear skies continue into the evening and overnight. And so we're going to be cold, but again, this is right where we should be, back into the upper 30s for our overnight lows tonight. We go into Friday. There's a couple of changes. Noon today, remember, upper 50s. Noon tomorrow, a few more of us low 60s out there, and we'll have a southeast wind at about 5 to 10. We still have the clear skies, though, so if you're not able to get out and enjoy today, tomorrow's going to be just as good. And if you can't get out for some reason on Friday, worry not. We have one more really good day out there as we head into our Saturday. Now, Saturday, it's going to be a little deceiving out there. We're going to have clouds increasing as we head into the afternoon. So we're going to go partly to mostly cloudy. It's going to look like it's going to rain. We'll have that south wind, maybe even gusting at times, but it's not going to rain Saturday. So don't worry. You got time to get stuff done. But take a look at these temperatures. Even by 5 o'clock Saturday, mid-60s, upper 60s, 71 possibly in Bartlesville. So very warm out there as temperatures continue to climb into Sunday ahead of some rain chances. We're going to talk about those here in just a moment. First, great view from 7th and Range Line. Skies are clear, sitting at 40. Does feel like 36 though, with that west wind at around 6 miles an hour. Across the region, a good number of us right where we should be. Remember I said our average lows upper 30s. Look at how many upper 30s are out there. And even those who are in the upper 30s, we're only in the low 40s. So we're not that far off from normal for us today, and that's how our temperatures will be. Low 40s to start, sunny skies, mid 50s by 11 o'clock this morning, ahead of highs going again upper 50s, low 60s out there, calm winds, sunny skies, calm winds, clear skies through the evening and into the overnight hours as we fall back into the upper 30s. Now, here's what I want to talk to you about, because in the next 10 days, there's a lot of things going on, and we're going to break it down for you. Into the weekend, warmer temperatures, rain builds in late Sunday, into Monday, maybe some thunderstorms, upper 60s. Tuesday. You know, usually Monday's one of those days. It's Tuesday. Tuesday looks great at first, but that's when this Arctic air mass arrives. There are about 1,000 variables. That might be an exaggeration, but you folks at home get the idea. There are a number of variables in play for what happens with this Arctic air. It keeps showing up. It's been showing up for 2 weeks. We know it's coming. Temperatures well below normal overnight, upper 20s, low 30s. Highs well below normal, upper 40s, low 50s. This is the main variable here. The rain chances, they're slight at this point, but we have them as soon as this Arctic air arrives. During the day, if we get rain, it will definitely be rain. It'll be warm enough that it's rain. It's at night that we could see a transition to like a rain-snow mix, possibly. So you don't need to buy the milk or the eggs or the bread or whatever else it is that you need. We're not at that stage, but it is something we're watching, and at best right now it looks like it could lead to maybe some slick spots for our morning commutes. So again, just something to keep an eye on, but do not panic. We'll let you know when it's time to panic, all right? This is not one of those times. That's Check Your Forecast. We will be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Well, fatal accidents along I-44 have been increasing at an alarming rate over the past couple of years. We have KOAM's Samantha Walker with us this morning to share how these accidents can leave a lasting impact on the mental health of those involved. And welcome to you, Samantha. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. So over the past few years, JPD especially has seen an uptick in these crashes on I-44. Talk to me a little bit about, through your research and reporting, what you noticed with these crashes.
Yeah, so like we've seen in 2022, it was 1, in 2022 it was 3, and in 2022 it was 4 through January through October.
Yes.
And so when we're looking at especially areas where these accidents might see,
Sure.
in August of this year, we saw that really horrific accident at exit 8, and those exits on the I-44 are some of the most common places that we'll see those. So that exit 8 accident that I'm referencing in August, that was when we saw the sign come down that involved a semi. That's just some of the worst fatal ones that we'll see, and so those are some of the common ones that we'll see frequently.
Absolutely. And then with this, is it just distractions, high speeds, a mixture of both, heavy traffic?
Yeah, so with I-44, there's so many different components with it that can make it a riskier drive.
Yes.
You have people going upwards of 70 miles an hour. Those high speeds do play in it. And, you have people going over 70 miles an hour. Cell phone usage is another huge problem. They're encouraging you to be hands-free. We have that law that's taken effect, and they're going to start, enforcing it in January of this coming year. So those are huge parts of it as well.
Certainly so. And as we head into the winter months with more dangerous road conditions, are local authorities kind of stressing the importance of putting those phone downs, making sure you're taking proper precautions when winter months head our way?
Absolutely. So they know, especially during these holiday months and these winter months, traffic is going to not only increase with people traveling to go see their loved ones during this Christmas and Thanksgiving season, but also we do see those road conditions possibly, deteriorate because of weather. So that's something they are keeping in mind, and especially with that hands-free enforcement starting January 1st for Missourians, they really want to attack people, trying to say, put those phones down. Please think about where you're going, other people traveling. The only person you can control on that roadway is you and your own driving. So it's really important that you be focused and you pay attention.
Absolutely. And talking about those other people on the roadway, now one of the key points of your report is talking about the mental impact that witnesses experience when they're seeing these crashes. Talk to me about just some of the stories that you've heard and kind of your takeaway from that.
Seeing these fatal crashes, that's something that, first responders have talked about, and they even get training for it. But everyday people who are driving by these crashes, that's not something they're necessarily prepared to see ever, let alone just driving to work or home. And so, we spoke with a 22-year-old woman who saw a fatal crash scene, and for her it was horrific. She said, I will never be the same. And she said it made her appreciate and, think about she may not make it home one day when driving. And it's something she's keeping in her mind, and she's encouraging other drivers on I-44 to keep in their mind as well.
Heartbreaking stuff. Well, Samantha, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Of course, Samantha will be sharing her special report tonight on KOAM News. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. I'm Elise Snowy. The Neosho, Missouri Fire Department receives funding for equipment courtesy of the Newton County Public Safety Grant. The grant, for just over $10,000, will go toward the purchase of an extractor washer and dryer for Neosho Fire Station number 2. The washer-dryer combo is intended to ensure hazardous contaminants accumulated during emergency responses are effectively removed. Well, the 10th annual Empty Bowls, a fundraiser, takes place today. The event, sponsored by Watered Gardens in Joplin, raises money to help feed the hungry in the community. For a minimum $25 donation, people can enjoy a bowl of soup, keep the handcrafted bowl, and help raise money for a good cause. And another way you can help feed the hungry in our area is through our Feed the Four States campaign. This year, we've teamed up with Extreme Power Sports Auto Center in Webb City to help collect those non-perishable food items that you donate. Simply use this QR code for more information on how and where you can donate to help feed the 4 states. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, an increase in the number of fatal crashes on I-44 is drawing concerns from local authorities, especially as roads will soon become busier with the holiday season. The Joplin Police Department is just one agency who might respond to a fatal crash on I-44. Between January to October 2022, JPD responded to just one fatal crash on that roadway. In 2023, during that same time frame, they responded to 3. And in 2024, that number was up to 4. These fatal crash scenes leave a lasting impact on first responders and witnesses alike.
It really makes you consider, and it really makes you want to go home and hug your family, because you never know when you're not going to get to.
Well, authorities say when driving, it's important to put your phone down, slow down, and pay attention. We, of course, just spoke with her, but tonight on KOAM, Samantha Walker will have a special report on the impacts fatal crashes on I-44 have on those involved and the steps you can take to avoid them. Now let's check in with Chris for a look at the forecast.
To drive safe out there. A lot of cars on that stretch of road, and it can be dangerous at times. We are not looking at any dangers in downtown Pittsburgh. In fact, just a few cars out. The city got the decorations up this morning. They look fantastic, of course, and so do the skies. They are clear, and that's what we have in Joplin as well. From the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line, they're looking great as well as folks get their day underway. And as we head into the afternoon, temperatures today are going to be seasonable, and the winds are going to be calm, and there will be abundant sunshine out there. It's going to be a fantastic day for us across the 4 states. Right now, again, it's a bit chilly, but it's where we should be, or at least very close to where we should be. We're sitting at 40 in Joplin and 38 in Pittsburgh. And across the region, temperatures, again, we have that mixed bag of upper 30s and some low 40s out there. So we should be in the upper 30s. So we're not really all that far off, which is nice. It's a pretty decent start to the day. It's going to be a great day. Upper 50s, low 60s for our highs, sunny skies, calm winds, a very straightforward day. If you're unable to get out and enjoy today, tomorrow's going to be great. Saturday's going to be great too. And then we got changes on the way. We'll go over those details with you in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, changes are coming to the Wesley House in Pittsburgh this week, impacting what services are offered. KOAM Samantha Walker explains why some services will pause.
Wesley House is an outreach ministry of the First United Methodist Church in Pittsburgh, which provides resources for individuals and families who may be struggling, especially for the homeless population. But a sign is posted on the center's door announcing several of its services will no longer be offered starting this Friday. Sherry Franks both volunteers and receives resources from the Wesley House. She says while the changes might be hard for some, she understands why they're doing it.
I know they're doing the restructuring. Like I said, they're doing the best they can. I mean, why else would they be in the shelter business? Why else would they be, giving out food to the community that needs it?
This change takes effect one day after the church resumes management of Wesley House from the Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas after 2 years. The Wesley House will no longer provide breakfast, lunch, showers, laundry, or day shelter services to the community. Critics of this decision say they feel as though the change is too sudden, given how long the Wesley House has provided these services, especially to the homeless population.
Now we have these people here, and there's suddenly a withdrawal with very little transition planning as far as we know. And so what that does is leave those people kind of in a bad situation where they moved here for certain services, and now those services are being withdrawn.
The new executive director for Wesley House says they've been informing the people who use these resources about the changes for weeks now. He says it's just a pause for these services and that they're not permanently going away. In a statement sent to KOAM, Executive Director Matt O'Malley says the facility has seen, quote, a drastic increase in the number of local households served by their food pantry. That program serves nearly 1 in 5 residents in Crawford County. In his statement, O'Malley explains the decision was made to pause other services to focus more on the food pantry and its growing needs. Frank says now is an important time for other community members to step up during this time of need.
So, our community, our people, just, churches, we've got to just all band together and work together. There's so many opportunities here to help not just the homeless, but just our residents.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The executive director of Wesley House says they're working to expand their food pantry and its hours of operations. Now, they have not said when these paused services might restart. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Microscopic robots could be the key to revolutionizing patient care. Well, the details you're watching in the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from the old Reddings Mill Bridge in Joplin. In Consumer Watch this morning, Spirit Airlines is reportedly filing for bankruptcy after its effort to merge with Frontier Airlines was unsuccessful. This is the company's second failed merger in the past 2 years, leaving it struggling to deal with mounting losses and debt. Now, sources indicate the company may file for bankruptcy within weeks, and the airline's stocks plummeting more than 55% yesterday. A dock worker union leaves contract talks with port employers without a potential deal. The International Longshoresmen Association says the two sides still do not agree on the use of automation. Employers say automation is needed to keep the U.S. competitive, but the union claims it will kill jobs for its members. A new deal will need to be reached by January 15th to prevent a second dock worker strike, which could cause major disruptions to the country's economy. The number of illnesses from an E. coli outbreak at some McDonald's breaks 100. The CDC says the number of illnesses jumped by 14 to 104 since cases were first reported. The agency says 34 people have been sent to the hospital, while 4 people developed kidney issues and 1 person died. Health officials say the outbreak is no longer a food safety concern and Quarter Pounders are back on McDonald's menus. Well, Thanksgiving is quickly approaching, so how much will Thanksgiving dinner cost you this year? Fox's Jody Goldberg spoke with an expert on some savvy ways to save.
How much do you spend to host Thanksgiving?
Anywhere between $250 and $350.
$300.
It comes to hundreds of dollars, basically.
This year it may cost a little less. If you're a savory, make that a savvy shopper, according to Josh Colbert. The researcher at Finance Buzz found that shopping the sales before you go to the stores can give you a leg up on savings.
If you can find one of these really good special sales that go, hey, if you buy $50 worth of food, you can get a turkey for $1 a pound or something, those savings can really add up.
Some stores offer even better deals for the bird if you spend a certain amount, but if you do pay out of pocket, the national average for a turkey is down for the first time in at least 3 years.
Turkeys are actually 12% cheaper than last year, which is a pretty big difference.
Shoppers will also see a big difference in prices for some store brands. Colbert says consumers should mix and match.
If you're putting together a table with lots of dishes, buy the store brand potatoes, buy the store brand vegetables.
While cranberries, potatoes, and pies are among the items that have gone down in price, expect to pay a little more for stuffing this year and nearly 40% more for eggs.
Can't catch a break.
Walmart, Target, and Aldi are among the retailers highlighting money-saving Thanksgiving meals, and customers can spend anywhere from $5 to $7 per person and get all of the items for their dinner without having to stress over shopping.
You can expect to spend to feed a family of 8 about $50.
As for the cost of drinks, expect to pay about 2 to 3% more for beer and wine, according to a Wells Fargo report that reveals liters of soft drinks will cost 11% less. But the best way to save, depending on who you ask,
I go to my son's house.
I don't host it at my home. We go to our kids.
just go elsewhere and bring a dessert.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Coming up on 7:44 on this Thursday morning, we're going to start with the future track, which again, at least over the next couple of days, doesn't have a lot to show. In fact, today it has almost nothing to show other than temperatures as they rise into the afternoon, but not even significantly rising. They'll be pretty close to normal. This is noon today. We've got mid-50s, upper 50s, and some low 60s sprinkled in there. Skies are clear and winds are expected to be calm. As we head into the evening, again, still looking pretty good out there, and even overnight, still good. Calm winds and clear skies. We're going to be cold, but again, this will be seasonable weather out there as we go into the upper 30s for our lows tonight. However, tomorrow, we're going to start to warm up a bit. Take a look at noon tomorrow. We're talking low mid 60s at noon instead of the upper 50s. And we'll have a southeast breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. The only thing not changing is the clear skies. We're still looking at sunny skies, plentiful sunshine throughout the day on our Friday, but we'll be a little warmer, which will cause us to be a little warmer in the evening and, of course, cause us to be a little warmer overnight as well, with temperatures falling back into the low to mid 40s. So not significantly above normal, but definitely above normal. And that trend continues into our Saturday. Now, Saturday, the skies are going to lie to you a little bit. Clouds will increase. We'll go partly to mostly cloudy. It's going to look like rain. And with the south breeze gusting occasionally, it may even feel like rain, but it's not going to rain, at least not Saturday. And take a look, by 5 o'clock even on Saturday evening, we've got mid, even upper 60s. Bartlesville could be sitting at 71, so well above normal as we head into Saturday afternoon ahead of the rain chances that we'll eventually get here on Sunday. We're sitting at 40 in Joplin right now. 36 is what it feels like with a west wind at 6. Skies, of course, are clear. And around the area, again, temperatures close to normal for many of us. Still some upper 30s out there and low to mid 40s. So a pretty decent start to the day for November. And we'd like it to be, warmer than this, of course, but it is November and this is where we should be. Chilly start again, low 40s, sunny skies, 55 by 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs today, seasonable, upper 50s, some low 60s out there as well with those clear skies and calm winds. Clear skies, calm winds through the evening and overnight, mid 40s by 10, overnight lows back into the upper 30s. And the changes begin. We start to warm up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even Monday, still above normal across the area. And we have the rain moving in late Sunday into Monday, maybe some thunderstorms here and there. And then we get that Arctic air mass. There's a lot of questions about this, okay? You've probably even heard the word snow getting tossed around. I've said it a few times this morning to help clarify some points. We're going to get well below normal. Lows into the upper 20s, low 30s as we head into the middle of next week. Highs only in the upper 40s and low 50s. So we do have slight rain chances Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. At this point, the rain chances during the day, temperatures are going to be warm enough it's going to be rain. It's at night that we could get a rain-snow mix, maybe a couple of snow showers. So right now, at worst, we're looking at maybe some slick spots for our morning commutes Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So no need to panic or anything like that. We're not looking at a major winter storm at this point. But of course, we'll watch it. We're still several days away, and if anything changes, we will let you know. That is a check of your forecast. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
The medical and technological worlds often go hand in hand, with new devices providing breakthroughs in healthcare that researchers hope will improve people's lives.
Now, engineers at the University of Hawaii are revealing more about how their tiny robots can revolutionize future treatments in big ways. Fox News' Chris DeMeo takes a closer look.
The human body is complex, full of vessels, organs, and nerves all working together to keep us going. But for those needing medical care, these vast networks can be tricky for doctors to navigate, especially if they need to reach areas deep inside the brain. It's a concern engineers at the University of Hawaii are trying to combat with their microscopic robots. While they're still prototypes, researchers hope they'll open doors for more minimally invasive treatments in the future.
We have pushed the boundary.
The bots are made of mesh structure, allowing them to morph as they wind through the body's vessels. Unlike some other surgical tools which have cords, doctors will be able to direct those robots around the body externally using magnetic fields.
One of the great benefits of our design is that it could be able to be steered into this really hard to reach region to operate different medical purposes.
Once the robots are at their desired locations inside a patient, researchers say they'll be able to get to work either delivering medicine, diverting blood flow, or working to remedy things like brain aneurysms, strokes, and tumors.
We are actually working with the medical doctors together to make sure that all of our design and functions can be easily fit into the current medical treatment scenario.
The team says their next step is to enhance what the robots can do.
Right now, our robot is just like a carrier. It's like a small car moving inside of our vessel. But there are not so many functionalities. So we are working on actually make the robot more adaptive and also carry more functional elements, such like drugs.
Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
Not to nerd out on anybody, this reminds me of Star Trek, though, and nanites. It's something they
Of
use,
course
though,
it does,
because they could send the little tiny robots in to take care of things, and we're now at that stage.
Star Trek's becoming reality, Chris. Can you
Something like
believe
that.
it?
Can we get transporters, though? I'm telling you, if you buy a house, you move, a transporter would be so convenient. You put your furniture on it and transport it to your new house.
I thought you said you were going to geek out now.
Okay, well, that's as far as I'm going to go. You know what? What I can kind of geek out on is a little bit of the weather, because we are going to have a pretty decent day. It's going to be extraordinarily seasonable out there. In fact, we will show you the future track as we head into the afternoon, and we are looking at temperatures normal. Winds will be calm, skies will be clear, and we'll be into the upper 50s, maybe some low 60s by noon today. As we head through the day, clear skies, calm winds. It's absolutely beautiful today. And don't worry, if you can't get outside today, you'll have tomorrow and even Saturday. It's still going to be pretty decent. Tonight, lows cold but seasonably so as we go back into the upper 30s, clear skies, calm winds. Now Friday, temperatures start to warm up, winds out of the southeast at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. And by noon Friday, instead of being in the upper 50s, most of us are in the low 60s. That's going to be a fairly warm day for us, which will lead to an above average night, Friday night into Saturday, with low to mid 40s for our overnight lows. Saturday, clouds will actually increase, so it will not rain Saturday. We're not expecting any rain Saturday, but it's certainly going to look like it. South winds will start picking up out there, and temperatures even warmer as we go mid, maybe even upper 60s. And you see with Bartlesville, maybe even a low 70 out there. We're going to talk more about your forecast, some rain chances, and that Arctic air mass next week, as well as the news you need to know right after this.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Jimmy Hamilton was sworn in as Baxter Springs interim police chief during this week's city council meeting. The move follows Brian Henderson steps down as the Baxter Springs chief of police to focus on his new role as Cherokee County Sheriff-elect. Hamilton says Henderson will stay on with the department through the end of December. The Neosho, Missouri Fire Department receives funding for new equipment courtesy of the Newton County Public Safety Grant. The grant will go toward the purchase of an extractor washer and dryer for Neosho Fire Station number 2. The washer-dryer combo ensures hazardous contaminants accumulated during emergency responses are effectively removed. Well, an increase in the number of fatal crashes on I-44 is drawing concerns from local authorities. These fatal crash scenes leave a lasting impact on first responders and witnesses alike. Tonight on KOAM, Samantha Walker will have a special report on the impacts fatal crashes on I-44 have on those involved and the steps you can take to avoid them.
And we are looking at an average day out there, upper 50s, low 60s, calm winds and sunny skies. Clear skies tonight, calm winds continue and seasonably cold back into the upper 30s. We'll start warming up Friday into Monday. So we go mid upper 60s, maybe some low 70s. Rain builds in late Sunday into Monday, some thunderstorms. Tuesday, about average for the high, but then take a look, that Arctic air mass arrives. Temperatures overnight, well below normal, upper 20s, low 30s, highs below normal as well in the upper 40s and low 50s. We have those rain chances. Some good news, like I said, at this point, we're not looking at any kind of significant winter weather event next week at all. I'm sure you're hearing about it. It's a slight possibility, maybe some overnight snow that lead to some slick spots, but nothing major, so no panic buying yet. Trust us, Doug Hetty.
Yes.
We'll be here. We'll let you know when it's time to panic. This system does not look like a panic system.
All right. Well, for centuries, the Roman Colosseum has been the stage for epic battles and legendary gladiators. And now, for the first time in nearly 2,000 years, the Colosseum returns to its original purpose.
In a press release from Airbnb, in May of 2025, up to 8 people and guests will have an opportunity to tour the Colosseum and be allowed to suit up and train in the art of a gladiator.
How about that?
That's, okay, cool.
I think that would be cool. I wouldn't want to do that.
No, but it seems like it would certainly be interesting. As long as you don't have real swords, that could be,
yes,
that could be a problem at that point. Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good into your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.